What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Wise Journey, a podcast that we recently started. I'm actually at Reno Harley-Davidson, opening up the dynamic to the Harley side because we own Harleys too. I have an awesome guest with us. If you wanted to introduce yourself and say what you do for the company.
Yeah, my name's Tony Latona. I'm the GSM here at Reno Harley, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've had the honor of knowing you before even being at Reno.
Yeah.
Did you want to kind of elaborate on your growth since starting with Wise?
Yeah, absolutely. About almost 4 years ago, started at Kia, at the Kia store there in Vacaville as a finance manager. Then was promoted shortly after to sales manager there at Kia. When then the opportunity was available to me, I moved on to Yuba City, Harley-Davidson, and started my journey with Matt as a sales manager there. And then about 3 years ago, I moved up here as a sales manager when that position was available, and now the GSM.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your growth has been pretty elaborate. It's cool that you have both senses of auto and Harley.
Right. Been in the car industry was 11 years, and then
Wow.
now going on almost 4 with the Harleys.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just going to continue to keep
absolutely.
going up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, since being a manager here at Reno and Harley, what to you has been the biggest blessing being a manager, like a whole encompassment?
First and foremost is obviously the opportunity given. Not every day you can get the opportunity to have a company that you work for one, that has so many stores and the growth of buying, and getting into the Harley industry. But I also think that the biggest reward I have is, watching the growth of your team, your store, going from, I just say the level that when I got here, and then now what the store is producing and doing now, and then the team that I've had. When I got here, they were all new, green, almost what we like to call green peas, but and these guys all grow, and their growth is, promoted from being fits to ASMs to sales managers to finance managers, and just that part of seeing your people and their growth and changing their lives,
Yeah, it's like being a teacher and then seeing that student you had one day being like, now I'm doing all this, and it's like, wow, like
yeah, absolutely.
You really took what I taught you, and then you're implementing it. Now you're like self-sufficient, doing it on your own, running your own store, whatever the case may be.
Just like watering your crops and seeing your,
Exactly. It's like when you start, you're a plant.
Yeah.
And then when you're fully grown, you become the gardener.
Yeah.
And then you start, and
Correct.
it's just this like.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So what is some advice you can give to a new manager that's just coming on working for Wise?
That's a great question. I would say, as the Wise Riders, as what we like to say, is you stick to the process. Matt's done a great job with teaching us as the sales managers, GSMs, of how the Wise Riders process goes, and what's expected. You don't need to put your own, you don't reinvent the wheel. It's like we were speaking earlier.
Yeah.
You stick to the process, and it will show you the way. And that's why we've been so successful. And that's what I would say. And then you be here, you show up early, you leave late, and you work hard, because that's what expected, and that's what I expect for myself. And I always tell my guys too. He's like, look at yourself in the mirror, and you ask yourself, what am I going to do today that was better myself from yesterday?
Right. Yeah, and even having that self-reflecting thought when you see yourself in the mirror, like you do the same thing. You're not like, well, what are you going to do better today for me? It's like, no, I'm sure that you do the same thing because you want to implement the same thing that you coach your guys on.
Absolutely.
And you do the same yourself. So it's like your talk matches your walk.
Right. Yeah. You always say, you walk the walk, the talk the talk. Yeah. So I'm a firm believer of it, man. And I just love the passion, for the job, for the bikes. Like I say, I was in the industry for 11 years in the car industry, and I don't think I'll ever turn back, man. I love the Harleys. So
it's all right. Well, I don't
yeah,
think
it's
we're ever
great.
stopping
No,
the Harley growth.
Right.
Well, before we close out, is there any closing statement, maybe a message to anyone new that's coming on board?
Like I say, just stick to the process. Stick to the what we've been taught. And that's kind of the way of it's the line in the sand, I'd say. That's about it.
It's
really.
very direct. It's not blended. It's right there.
It's real simple. Anytime you try to muddy up the water, that's when it gets real rough.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah, for everybody.
For you, for everyone around
you.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you taking the
Yeah,
time to do this. It
Thanks.
was an honor to do this.
Yeah.
It's been cool to watch you grow.
Yeah.
And, look
more
forward.
and more to come.
Yeah,
right?
I look forward
More
to see
come.
what happens. So
Absolutely.
thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.